Welcome to Fleming Complete and Fleming West Safety Orientation. We pride ourselves in going the extra mile to make sure all safety expectations are not only crystal clear to you but are also honored by you. That's because safety is a value we believe in. The tragic truth is that every year thousands of hardworking employees on construction sites all over the world are hurt, harmed, and sadly some have even lost their lives. To Fleming, these statistics are not acceptable. We have high expectations as we expect each employee to know and follow our important guidelines. Our safety program's foundation is knowing that you take safety as seriously as we do. By working together, we can build a long-standing record of our precautions intentionally designed to keep you safe as well as your coworkers. In these next few minutes, we'll dig deep into the details of our high expectations put in place to keep every one of our cherished employees safe and sound at work. Statistics sadly reveal that falls are one of the leading causes of death in our industry, and they happen way too often. Fleming leads the way with our fall protection policy that requires any employee exposed working at a height of 6 feet or more to have fall protection. Carefully chosen protection devices must be selected and inspected by the user before use. Remember, this PPE is designed to save your life. Please inspect it. Annually, there are thousands of construction workers who are needlessly injured because of one simple factor that's often ignored. PPE, personal protective equipment. That's why we require anyone and everyone who steps foot on any of our many Fleming West or Fleming Complete job sites to wear the correct personal protective equipment. Let me start at the top with our most important piece of gear that protects every worker's most vulnerable and important body part: your head. The hard hat is a required bodyguard for the purpose of preventing any injuries from all falling objects. Protecting every employee from injury is a top priority with us. That's why our vision to protect your eyes requires everyone to wear these all-important safety glasses. Our eyes can be vulnerable to flying objects big or small, and these safety glasses have saved many construction workers from serious injuries to their all-important vision. Our next piece of attire that is required is a high-visibility vest. With so many construction workers hard at work doing various tasks, it's important to be able to see anyone who just might be outside your sight line. These brightly colored vests helps ensure that you can be easily seen by alerting all coworkers all around you. When others can easily pinpoint your location, it curbs injuries that can be easily avoided. We know construction workers use their hands more than any other body part in order to accomplish their various tasks. That's why we've taken important safeguards to protect you and your hands, requiring the right kind of work gloves. Heavy-duty gloves will protect against rough or sharp edges, abrasive surfaces, and splinters. Job sites are notorious for all kinds of objects lying on the ground capable of causing serious accidents to workers' feet. Foot injuries happen way too often, from nails sticking up out of boards to twisted ankles. All trauma-related injuries to our feet can be easily avoided by wearing proper leather work boots. The correct boot is designed for your protection but also safeguards workers' ankles from injuries as well. Our employees can work with confidence knowing their feet are safe from any potential casualty thanks to the proper leather work boot. When you visit or walk by a construction site, probably one of the first things you notice is the noise. Construction sites can be loud even from far away. Just think about how loud it is for those skilled workers operating the tools and machinery up close. In the United States, thousands of workers suffer from hearing loss due to high workplace noise levels. Most of this can be prevented. The general rule of thumb is that if you cannot carry on a conversation in a normal tone of voice while standing 4 feet apart on a job site, you should be wearing hearing protection. There are 3 things to consider about noise: how loud, how long, and how close. OSHA's permissible limit for noise exposure over an 8-hour period is 90 decibels. Fleming recommends that worker exposures to noise be reduced to this level, at a minimum, to reduce occupational noise-induced hearing loss. To put that into perspective, that is about the noise volume of a lawnmower or motorcycle. Basically, there are 2 forms of hearing protection: earmuffs and earplugs. Earplugs are the most reliable and economical way to provide hearing protection to any workforce. Earmuffs are almost as effective and can be worn over the head, behind the neck, under the chin, or even attached to a hard hat. On our Fleming job sites, we require all employees and visitors to wear hearing protection in any area they are exposed to loud noises. All of our required attire is designed and intended to prevent injuries that workers come face to face with every day on a number of job sites. Not only does this approved equipment provide protection, but they also have been known to do the most important thing they were designed to do, and that's save lives. Remember, PPE is required 100% of the time when on a Fleming job site. In addition to required PPE, all workers must wear shirts with sleeves and long work pants when working on a construction or renovation site. Sleeveless or tank top shirts, short pants, sweatpants, sneakers, sandals, and high-heeled or open-toed shoes are not permitted. It is also important to note that earbuds and radios are not permitted on Fleming job sites. Here at Fleming, we have high standards on how everything looks, especially when it comes to maintaining a clean, safe working environment. That's because we believe the overall appearance of our workplace is a direct reflection on our product, our procedures, our professionalism, and of course the protection of our people. That's why good housekeeping is a paramount priority here. We know that a clean job site is a safe job site, as spotless surroundings offer a dual advantage for everyone. Good housekeeping reduces accidents and brings added layers of efficiency to all of our job operations. Ladders come in all shapes and sizes and are used for different purposes. That's why choosing the perfect ladder for the task at hand is important. Manufacturers' recommendations must be followed and manufacturers' labels must be legible. When using extension ladders, we require a 4-to-1 pitch when set up and must extend a minimum of at least 3 feet above the point of support to gain access to a higher level. And finally, when climbing up and down a ladder, there must always be 3 points of contact. Following each of these guidelines will assure that safety always wins in the end. We expect that you will inspect your ladder prior to every use. An important apparatus used at all construction sites is the scaffold. These temporary elevated work platforms provide great support for getting specific jobs done. We have some important rules to follow to keep everyone safe and secure. First, all scaffolding should be built, moved, and taken down and altered under the watchful eye of a competent person who's very familiar with the particular scaffold being used. They must be constantly maintained, and all working scaffolds must be carefully inspected in advance. Those that pass the test must have a green tag displayed on them. Any scaffold which is incomplete or not in use must have a red tag inside as well. Guardrails must be in place at 6 feet on all scaffolding unless a lower height guardrail is recommended by that particular scaffold's manufacturer. The altering of components in the field is not allowed unless the supervision of a competent person says so. Scaffold frames as well as their components, which are manufactured by different companies, may not be intermixed. The only exception is that the component parts readily fit together and if the integrity of the scaffold is maintained. One final standard that must be followed is that all employees must use approved access methods without exception. Hand and power tools play an important role in bringing to fruition certain assigned tasks. That's why we emphasize specific guidelines to be followed in order to ensure workers' safety. For example, electric power-operated tools should always be carefully kept in a safe place, and they all need to be handled in one of 2 approved categories. The required double insulated type, or 2, be grounded through the use of a 3-wire system. A daily inspection of all tools and all electrical cords is required, and any damaged electrical cords should be replaced immediately. Play it safe and don't use them if you detect any sort of fault whatsoever. By the way, all tools designed to accommodate guards will be equipped with such guards. And all tools need to be used with correct manufacturer shields or attachments. Removing a manufacturer's guard is an important safeguard that we don't allow. That's because removing a guard has the potential of possibly resulting in serious injury. All job sites have certain areas that are potentially dangerous that every worker needs to be aware of. Excavation is one of these areas. Entering an excavation that does not have the proper support systems in place is dangerous and can even lead to death. Never work in an excavation or any situation 5 feet or more below ground surface unless support measures are in place or excavation has been properly laid back. Never use a shortcut regardless of how quick or easy it may seem, because the risk involved is not worth being injured. Before entering an excavation area or unsupported ground, always consult your competent person who can brief you in advance of any potential hazards that could possibly put you in harm's way. Before operating any vehicle or any type of mobile equipment of any kind, operators must be thoroughly trained in advance. All equipment must be carefully maintained according to the manufacturer's intended guidelines, including seatbelts and backup alarms. Texting or talking on your phone while driving a construction vehicle is a foolish and dangerous thing to do. Don't ever use a cell phone or handheld device when you are operating a moving vehicle or any mobile equipment. If you have to take a call or need to text someone, stop and find a safe place to park, then, and only then may you use your phone. A major key in preventing injuries is being cautious to observe every single detail all around you whenever walking through a job site. For example, never walk through a barricade without permission from the barricade owner, because breaking that simple rule can lead to a serious injury. People think that walking under a ladder brings bad luck, but working beneath a suspended load can result in a much worse outcome. Just like in your car, heavy equipment has blind spots, so make it an ongoing practice to always make visual contact with any operator before you move closer to any piece of equipment. Advanced planning is an essential principle to guarantee safety in our company. Before any shift or planned task, you and your coworkers must meet and review a pre-task plan together. Use judgment to visualize and think about steps to control these risks. Pre-planning done well will help ensure you and your coworkers have a safe place to work. I'm sure this goes without saying, but we do not tolerate or permit any drugs or alcohol of any kind, because they have no place according to our policy of professionalism. And one last thing, in case of an emergency, notify your supervisor as quickly as you can. Reporting an incident, an accident, or a near miss keeps us all accountable to one another as a team, and it helps prevent future injuries as well. Thank you for taking the time to attend Fleming Complete and Fleming West Safety Orientation. You can confidently work on our job sites knowing our expectations. Your well-being is important to us, and we pride ourselves in your protection and believe in prioritizing safety. Workers have a right to a safe workplace and should speak up about unsafe conditions. When you come to work, we want you to think of Fleming as your home away from home. We want you to know that you matter to us, and even more importantly, you matter to those waiting for you at home.